Yeah, hello everyone from wherever you're actually joining us, and it's great to actually have you join us on this session for the Microsoft Dynamics 365 sales training, especially for beginners, right? And yesterday was a very awesome session. Actually, we actually had amazing speakers, Omlala Alfred and Olanrewaju Uyibuke gave us great insights. And today, man, I'm introducing you audience to a very, very lovely, beautiful lady as well. Masterclass at what she does. In name of Foyin Olajide Bello. Nice to have you here, Foyin. It's great to have you here. I'm actually so excited because I'm actually going to learn a whole lot from you, and I'm very sure the audience as well they're going to actually learn a whole lot from you. So, before we proceed, wherever you're joining from, let us know in the comments section. To be glad to know where you're actually joining from. So you can just drop a comment for us in the section to know where you're joining from. And Fonyi, you have the floor now, please.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Thank you for joining our session today. And we'll get right into it. Today, we're going to be talking about Microsoft 365 sales, opportunities, and leads. So, yesterday, Amalola took us and she explained a lot about the whole interface, how to create a trial accounts, how to get started, contacts, and accounts. And today we'll look at two other aspects of Dynamics 365 sales. So let's get into it. So welcome again, and thank you so much for taking our time to join this session. It promises to be an exciting one. So who am I? My name is Fonyola Bello, MVP Business Applications, and my specialties are around Dynamics, the Power Platform, Microsoft 365, mixed with a bit of Azure. I am the co-founder of Techstylers, which is a community to support women in tech, and also one of the Power Platform user group leads for Nigeria. I'm also privileged to be part of the Dynamics Con advisory board. When I'm not working or doing community work, I enjoy traveling and dancing. So I'll be happy to connect with everyone on the call today. I'm active on Twitter and LinkedIn only. So these are my handles. Please feel free to connect with me, ask me questions after this session if you feel like taking the conversation forward. All right, so two major things, leads and opportunities. So let's get started by talking about leads in Dynamics 365. Okay. 1 second. All right. So yesterday, you already had this overview about your customers, accounts, and contacts. So basically, in Dynamics, we have what we call accounts and we have what we call contact records. And what this does is just to store and collect information about your customer. So Malala explained yesterday that an account can be like a company, say MTN, and then under MTN, you can have various contacts in that organization. So that's the simple meaning about that. And then we have tables in Dynamics that enables us to create and save our contacts, our accounts, and the corresponding contacts for them. So this is what the leads view looks like in Dynamics 365 for sales. So you see we have the top ribbon. So it's kind of all this, there's the same standard look and feel that Microsoft has given to their Dynamics products, where you have, the ribbon at the top, you would have this progress bar here, and then you have the tabs you can move around, and then you have different sections to cover different information based on what you want to gather. So this is how the sales interface, what it looks like at the moment. So now what's a lead? Some of us may wonder, like, what do we mean by leads? So leads are, say for example, your marketing team had a campaign and they sent out lots of emails and they said, oh, click here if you're interested. in this product. So they sent to 5,000 people, 3,000 people of those 5,000 came back to say, yes, I'm interested in this product. So those 3,000 are leads for your organization. And then when leads are identified, that's one way. Leads can also be identified from phone call received by somebody in the organization. So you get a phone call saying, oh, I'm interested in this product you are selling or this service you are offering. I would like to hear more about it. So all of these type of people are called leads. And those leads can be put into the Dynamics 365 products. And once we do that, then we move to the next step, which is qualifying the lead. So qualifying the lead can involve various things like, okay, how your company would have different factors that they use to qualify a lead or disqualify a lead. So based on that, and then once the lead is being qualified or disqualified, then it moves into an opportunity. That's if it's qualified. So that means this person is serious, it meets our criteria, it's happy to move ahead with us. Then you come into this link where, okay, we've established that this is a good customer. We're not wasting our time. Let's take it forward. And that's in the develop phase of the sales process. Now, the sales process may differ from organization to organization, but this is just kind of an example of what a standard sales process would look like. So you start making the contacts with the accounts, with the contacts that is in the organization. You finally agree on, oh, I want product X, I want quantity of 1,000 for my users, and the quote is created. Once that quote is created, the quote is proposed to the company, it's accepted, the order is created, and then the order is fulfilled. And that ends the sales process. All right. So if you have any questions, please feel free to put it in the chat window. So let's talk about how we can create leads. There are different ways we can create leads. We can create our leads manually. That's by inputting them one after the other. We can also create our leads by bulk imports. So say you went for an event, a summit or a conference, and your organization had a stand there. You had some people representing your organization at that event. And while people were coming to your stand, you were scanning their badges. So after the event, the organizers of the event sent you the Excel sheets or the .csv file of all the contacts of everyone that came to your stand, right? Maybe you had 500 people, 5,000 people. These are your leads. So how do you get that into the system? You can do that by doing a bulk upload of those leads into your Dynamics CRM system. So that's the other option. Then you also have the option of converting them from email activities. So if your organization uses Dynamics 365 marketing, they have sent out some marketing campaigns and some people have shown interest. So from that Dynamics 365 marketing, those who have shown interest in your product from the email campaign can automatically be converted to your leads. And then you can also use the quick create dialog box. So these are the different ways that we can create our leads. So while uploading or creating our leads, we have what we call duplicate detection, right? So it just basically helps us to track if certain things are the same. So we can say, oh, I want to know if the email is the same, if phone numbers are the same, or if this lead is similar to an existing lead in the company, or they have the same email domain address. So when you turn this on, it helps to ensure that your data is accurate and you're not creating 5 or 6 times in your system and thinking that you have 5 leads, whereas you just have 1 lead in your system. So that's the essence of the duplicate detection piece of it. Apologies. All right, so that's the essence of duplicate detection. Then, so this is what the screen looks like, and this shows you how you can manage it. So when you load your bulk data or you create them manually and the system observes that some of those factors that we had explained before is true, then you see something like what you see now on my screen, where you can actually say, okay, these are the duplicates we're seeing. Maybe duplicates of phone number or duplicates of email address or duplicates of company. Then you can say, okay, keep them. They are not duplicates, they're actually different people. Or maybe some error was made and you need to adjust them, one of the parameters there. So or you can merge them and say, okay, this phone and this phone, they're the same people. So let's merge and maintain a single record. So that's how the duplicate works. All right. So what does the lead management lifecycle look like? So you have the lead, right? We've created it either bulk upload or manually or dialog box or through the emails as we discussed before. The first thing is we want to qualify the lead, right? So do you want to qualify the lead? Yes, or disqualify the lead? No, based on certain parameters within your organization, right? So if the lead has been qualified, then an opportunity is created. And if not, that lead is disqualified. But you also have the opportunity of reactivating that lead. So say the person says, oh, I'm not interested in this product anymore. And it's okay, this person is not ready yet. Let's disqualify the lead. And then 3 months down the line, phone calls again to say, oh, I'm actually not interested in your product. Well, no, you don't need to go into your system to create another phone. All you need to do is reactivate that lead that you have at the moment. So what I explained before, like do you have what this person is looking for? Have you identified? So these are some of the factors. Have you identified, the time frame, the budget, the purchase process, things like the decision makers for this sale, and then you can then qualify your lead. So qualifying the lead converts the lead into an opportunity, as we saw in the previous diagram, and then your leads or prospects would have you need to provide them with whatever solution that you have agreed to provide for them. So that's the main thing about the leads, disqualifying them and qualifying your leads. It's important to ensure that when you are qualifying a lead and creating an opportunity, your organization has the means to meet up that opportunity. And you can also delete a lead if you wanted to. Say maybe it was the lead was created by mistake, it was an error, then that lead can automatically be deleted. But we'll see that in a bit. We'll create the leads and then you see how all of this works on the portal. So we have the predictive lead scoring, right? So there are some models that Microsoft has given us, like out of the box, to help us see real-time predictive scoring of a lead. You want to qualify, you want to ensure that in this competitive market, you spend time on qualifying your leads to reach your sales targets. Like if your qualifying process, right, keeps going wrong, then there's something wrong and the sales team wasting a lot of time. So they like to know very quickly if this person is a good, like this lead, if it's worth qualifying and raising as an opportunity. So the predictive lead scoring feature provides a scoring model to generate scores for leads that are available for you in your pipeline. So out of the box, there's an out of the box model that you can use. You choose some top factors that would influence this score, and then the administrator can view and modify the factors that influences the score by customizing the model. So this is an AI model that is within Dynamics based on certain factors that you have predefined. Then it gives you the score for that lead. So in diagram here, you can see it says, finance, it's a strong industry. This person has subscribed to your new service and it's the best deal for the year. person's intent is to buy was detected in a recent email. So they are saying that there was an email sent out by Dynamics 365 Markets, and this person has shown an intent to buy. But you can see that the budget is lower than the average. And then this particular contact mentioned 3 competing products on a most recent call. So that means that Regina is not considering only your company. Regina has other options. So it's the model is showing you that, so you can make an informed decision. So let's look at our lab, and then we'll come back to take a look at opportunities in Dynamics 365. So I'm going to move to my web page now. I don't know if you have any questions.
Okay, if I will come in for you, because we know this is like a beginner's guide for persons interested in maybe into transitioning tech, or maybe has just been listening or hearing about Microsoft Dynamics, right, and doesn't know how to go about it. So, guys, if you're listening right now, if you actually want to have access to this particular environment, like we actually discussed yesterday, you just have to navigate to trials.dynamics.com. That's trials.dynamics.com, and you'll be able to create an account to have your environment. So you should actually use like your Microsoft account to actually be able to register for this particular feature. So in a okay, we are being techie here, which actually makes sense, but a lot of people, some people might actually not understand, right? So in a layman's term, the leads are just like potential or prospect buyers, or that want to patronize your service. And with the Microsoft Dynamics sales technology, it actually has like a funnel where you're going to take your potential prospects to, or your potential buyers to, and lands it to a successful opportunity. So thank you very much. It's actually a great one. Please continue.
All right. Thank you for the addition, Leke. So let me continue now. So on this screen, you can see my lead. So this is Dynamics 365 Sales Hub, and we have various buttons, action buttons on the left. Omolola walked through all of this yesterday, so I won't go into that. I'll just stay here within the leads, and we'll talk about opportunities in a bit. So when you click on leads, this loads up. So normally it's a blank page, and I mentioned earlier that we have various ways of creating this. You can do import from Excel. So you come here and say import from Excel, and you can pick the Excel file from your system. Now there's a link I would pass to Leke to share with you from Microsoft 365 Learn. There you would see a sample Excel sheet that you can use for this bulk upload. So the one I used was from there to do this. Okay, that said, and I have all of my leads here created automatically for me, and various things that they are interested in, very likely to buy multiple items. So I'll just go into errands details, and we can see more from there. Just loading up a few, give it a few minutes. All right, so from here you see various sections of airing of the company. There's a Google map there that shows the location. And also what I will do here is I'll just add maybe a job title, and say sales rep, and include the company name here. I'll say ACC Ltd, and maybe www. All right, we'll stop there, and all of the other information can be populated accordingly. So let me save this. So let's assume that we've had conversations back and forth, and Erin is not looking like she wants to buy our product. So I can come here and say disqualify. And it says, why am I disqualifying the lead? I can say Erin is no longer interested. So lead has been disqualified, and it immediately changes the record to read only. The status is disqualified. So what else can we do from here? I can also pick another lead. And from here to, you can fill in the additional information the way we've done. You can include activities that happened, like, so this is a lead, you're trying to follow up with the person. Maybe you had a phone call conversation, maybe there's a task about the person. So all of these activities will be stored against this record. So this is one of the benefits of using Dynamics 365, because you don't have to keep all of the activities in separate buckets. Everything is stored here. Even if it's a phone conversation, you can bring it into this timeline. And whenever any other sales rep comes into this lead, they're able to understand and see what exactly has happened previously. So that's what you have there. So I can maybe create a simple task and just say this is mine. And say call on hands this week. When is it due? This is due tomorrow. And the task should not take more than 15 minutes. The priority is high because Hans wants to make a decision. Save and close. Yeah, so you can see, so everything just, it stacks up in that way. Okay, let me see what else I want to talk about. Disqualifying, reactivating. Okay, let's look at reactivating leads, adding activities, and qualifying a lead. Let me bring this back up. Okay, 1 second. All right, so Hans is looking very positive as one of our good leads. So I'm going to qualify him positive. Yeah, qualify. Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay,
funny.
that's one.
Sorry to cut you short. Maybe after this, we should go on a coffee break, okay?
Okay.
Just for some minutes, right? Then we're going to bounce back on this. It's a really interesting one.
All right, sure. So we're almost done with this now. So qualify, then we can set the time purchase here. So let's add some details here. 1 second. So we can say, okay, so all of these inputs, you'd have put it in before you qualified him. So now that I've qualified, it's kind of grayed out, but we can, let me go to another record and quickly show us that. Let me come here. Okay. So what's the timeline for purchase? This quarter, next quarter, what's the purchase process, committee? So, and all of these fields are customizable based on your company's sales process. So that's also helpful to ensure that the dynamics reflects what your company does actually. So I'll save this. So now I have two leads. I have a lead that I've disqualified and I have a lead that I've qualified. So when we come back, I will show us how to reopen a lead that we disqualified, and then also how to close the lead that has been qualified. All right, back to you, Liki.
That was a great session. I'm sure we have some questions that people are actually interested in. So we're going to go on a short break right now. When we're back, we're going to continue from where we actually stopped. See you in a jiffy. Okay, yeah. So welcome back, everyone. We still have here with us Funradeji, Olajide Bello. I'm so sorry about that. 3 times MVP. From where I'm from, we'll say "Opo." That is it's plenty. You know what I mean. So it's really great for you actually putting us through this. So we can actually proceed from where we actually stopped. Very sure this will be an exciting journey.
Okay, so let's continue. I hope you are with me. Now, we want to talk about how to reactivate a lead, right? So Erin had said, I'm not interested in your product anymore, and we've disqualified Erin. So we come to the top here, the different views, and we go to close leads. And from here, I can click on Erin and I can say reactivate lead. So that enables me to reactivate the account. Then what we can also do here is after reactivation, we can come to the timeline and put a phone call. So let's assume that Erin called us and there was a conversation that happened between us. I can just say, oh, Erin's situation has changed, explaining why this was reactivated. So you can see that the Dynamics 365 for sales is really easy to use because it's kind of very self-explanatory. Um, and it just supports your existing process, like what you have at the moment. I put in some dummy text there and I can save and close this. So what we can then do is, okay, Erin has called, her situation has changed. She wants to have the products and we need to have a meeting. So I can come here and put in an appointment um, for her for the meeting. So try this. And then I put all of the details there about it. So what are we talking about? Just happy to have an introduction meeting. Yeah. And location, with our office, what time? Let's say tomorrow at 10. So I can put tomorrow's date, 10 a.m. to whatever time, 11 to 11:30. So anyway, so let's not bore you with all of this. And if there's any additional information that we require here, we can put it here. So I'll just dump this dummy text here and save. Any other business. Okay, so all of this information is here now. So let's assume that tomorrow is here. I've gone for the meeting. I've had the introductory session with Erin and the committee. I can come back to close this activity, to mark this activity as done, completed. So I'll click on this checkbox and say, okay, this, we've actually done this, and it's done. This appointment has been completed. So that way it shows that it's been closed, and you don't leave all of your activities unnecessarily opened. The same thing can be done for the tax. Close the phone call because you've actually had the phone call with them. So now Erin is happy to move ahead. So let's say qualify. And I can say okay. Let me refresh this. So that's how you can put activities under a particular account and put in phone call, appointments, additional details, qualify or disqualify a lead. I think I've covered most of what I want to show here. Okay, and I've also shown you how to reactivate a lead that has been closed before. Do we have any questions in the chat or anywhere before we move on to opportunities? Okay. Sorry, I can't hear you, Licky.
Oh, I'm so sorry, I was on mute. So I said there is no question in the
Okay, great. So I think that's a good sign. Shows that Dynamics 365
comment section. But I think I have a question. I noticed when you opened yeah, I noticed that when you open one the leads, one of the leads, when the form actually opens, there is this bar at the top. It's like a staging area. So can you just maybe just shed more light on that?
Okay, sure. Let me jump back to that.
Great.
So the bar shows let me look for a lead that have qualified.
Okay.
So it shows the progress that you are making with your lead. So remember when we looked at the sales cycle, the example of the sales cycle, we had qualify, develop, propose, and close. So if I quickly go back to my slide and go a few steps back,
Yeah, that's fine.
this here, qualify,
Yeah.
develop, propose, and close. So as you're moving through all of these decisions and you are going through the process in the Dynamics 365 for sales, it just helps you like have a digital version of this bar in your Dynamics 365 for sales. So if I come back here, you see once the lead has been qualified, then it moves to when you say this is fine, mark stage complete, then you can create an opportunity for it. Because if a lead has been qualified positive, then that means it has become an opportunity from here, what we discussed here. So once it becomes an opportunity, I can't find the right slide. Once it becomes an opportunity, then it will move you into the next stage. I have to create an opportunity for this because an opportunity doesn't exist at the moment. And you're taking us into opportunities now. But once you have the opportunity, then it moves you from this qualified stage, it marks this as completed, into develop. And then based on, okay, you have done the course, the customer has accepted the course, they're happy with the pricing, blah, blah, blah. Then you move from develop to propose, which is where you now submit the final quotation to them. Then they make the payments, and then you can move to the final stage, which is fulfilling the order.
Okay, so that makes sense. Basically, the funnel which the leads actually go through before you land your output. Okay, thank you very much for
Yeah,
that.
like the stages, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
So please,
let me continue. Let me also share my screen. All right, so let's talk a bit about opportunities. And opportunities are very similar to the list that we have just seen. So opportunities are used to manage potential sales. Opportunities typically are more than a lead. So opportunities can be created like manually or converted from a lead or an activity. So like we saw there, from the lead, we can create an opportunity from there or from an activity or just input it manually. So if the organization already uses leads, then we'll probably convert the leads to opportunities directly. Or we can create a new opportunity from an existing account or a contact. So opportunity is just opportunity means there is a new opportunity here and you want to track it within your Dynamics 365 for sales system, then you just create an opportunity from there. So this is an example of the opportunity screen, very similar to what we have also in the leads. So manually, you can do it by converting activities in records or from the dialog box. So the sales process rarely occurs in isolation. Every account, every contact, every lead, every opportunity and other records are related to the sales. So every sales opportunity will have an owner. So what do we mean by that? There is a lead, right? Like we've explained lead now. Oh, this is looking like something positive. That lead is going to be somebody that wants something. That person may be tied to a company. So that company will be the account, the lead will be the contact. Then you have an opportunity there that is looking positive. And then there may be some other related items to it. So in summary, it's going to be like teamwork. All of this doesn't happen alone. A team doesn't sell alone. So for every record in the app, it is helpful to identify potential people within the organizations that are linked to that record. So what Dynamics 365 for sales gives us is the opportunity to include capabilities to relate records with using connections. So a simple example is the opportunity entity includes capability to connect records to the users. Thus, you can identify who the sales team is. So you know that this particular opportunity, these are the people that are working on this opportunity at the same time. So this image here just shows us, a table of team members instead of a single user, and then some of the access controls that you can grant on that table. So what are competitors? We all know who competitors are, and competitors are also managed in Dynamics 365 for sales. Ignoring our competition would be shooting ourselves in the foot. So it helps us to track knowledge about our competition, and what did we do well, what didn't we do well, what are their strengths, what do these people have that we don't have. And what this knowledge does is it helps the sales team better position their sales, and their services, their products against the competition. And what does that help with? It helps us to increase our winning rates, our chances of winning. So in Dynamics 365, we can store all the records of our competitors there. So the image here shows details of coffee, Fort Coffee, who is a competitor, everything about them, who the organization is, what's the win or loss reports that your company has concerning this competitor. And this is a great, this information is really good for the salespeople. So when a salesperson goes into gets an opportunity, he already knows, okay, if my customer mentions Fort Coffee, I can come into Dynamics and see information about this competitor, what has happened in the past, and what are our strengths against this competitor, what are our weaknesses against them. And then I can go into my meetings from an informed perspective. And if the competitor doesn't exist in Dynamics 365, I, as a salesperson, will create it and populate all of the required information there. So this is the opportunity management life cycle. So you open an opportunity, you can qualify it as lost or won. If it's lost, you put the details about the competitor, you update your system, and then you close the opportunity. And then if it's also won, you put in the revenue close dates there and also close the opportunity. So similar to the leads, we also have our predictive opportunity scoring, which is a model that helps us identify the opportunity or the possibility of winning this opportunity. So it's a predictive model based on certain parameters that you have preset into it. Is able to tell you that this opportunity is looking like an 86% win, or is looking like a 50% win. You already know the reasons why. And from the image here, you can see the good things in green and the things that are not so good in red. So that helps the sales guys work from an informed perspective and not just making assumptions as they try to close or win this opportunity. All right, so let's look at our lab around opportunities. Let me slide and come back to my lab. So we have the leads here, we have the opportunities here. And from here, any questions?
No, I'm actually working with you as well. I have my environment opened and an opportunity in one of the demo datas that's actually available.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So let's create an opportunity. Let's come to new. We'll do this manually because the other one I already had done my bulk upload. So what's the topic? Interested in product lines. Do I have any contacts here? No. So I've created a new contact just by the side. And you can also scan the business card. That's great. So I'll say Nancy Anderson. Let's see, do I have any active accounts? Let me look for one. Okay, Fabricant. And then all of the other information you can put here. So I'll just say what's the purchase time frame. Okay, let me save this first. Save my contact. So I'll include additional information like my purchase time frame. This quarter, I can say what's my estimate close date for this opportunity. Let me see, where's that? Estimate budget is 25. Just using 5,000. What else? Any other thing you need to put in can be put in here. So that's done. I'm going to save this now. Save. I've added a new contact already. Then what else can we do here? So this is our new opportunity that has been created. The next thing we're going to do is we want to go into the qualify stage here and update any other information that is not updated. So I said that this person is an individual who's going to do this. For me, you can also pick a committee for the purchase process. You can create, we've done the budget, you can look at the then what else? Customer need. You can say what the customer needs here and what the proposed solutions are. So let me come out of this. And what we can also do is we can share the link with you so you can run this lab, because sometimes I know trying to keep up doing a presentation may be so fast for you. So you can run these labs on the trial environment that you created yesterday, just to get a feel of it yourself and be sure that you know how to navigate it. Okay, this is done. Then what I want to also say is I have a meeting now set with Nancy. So I want to come here, the same way we did, and set an appointment. Very simple. A proposal meeting here.
When you said you had a meeting, I thought you were about to leave us. So you had
I had a meeting in my imaginary
yeah,
home.
yeah. Right, right.
Okay, so we can leave everything as is and save and close. Okay, so that's fine. Now we've gone for the meeting and the meeting didn't go well, right? Unfortunately. So I want to mark this opportunity as lost. So if you want to do that, you just come here and you can say lost opportunity, close as lost. And you can put the reason here. What happened was cancelled, or you can say outsold. If there was any actual revenue that you could have gotten from the opportunity or that was gotten, you can put it here and the date. Who was the competitor? So if I was saying about having records of your competitors. So I don't think I have any competitor on my system. So I'll leave this blank. Or let me just say I can just create one domain. Save and close. And okay. That's fine. So Nancy changes her mind and comes back and says, oh, I want to buy the product again. Let me come to closed opportunities. Nancy. And let's reopen this. So we say, fantastic. Welcome back. And we're happy to serve you. So I'm in a record. I want to go to the opportunity. Reopen opportunity. Okay, it has been reopened, and then we can mark it as 1. Yes, please.
Yeah, so what if we have a situation, right? I'm just like trying to think of like some rough scenarios in my head which could actually happen in some organizations when it comes to sales, because sales is actually like a critical driving force for the progress of every organization, right? So what if we have a situation where, okay, we have a potential buyer in code, like a lead, right? And okay, we go to a session with this particular customer and it's like, okay, I'm not interested in this and want to mark it as lost, like which we did here, right? And this lead doesn't come back again. Is there like any functionality that requires maybe a follow-up should be done to that particular lead to gain the lead back? Is it possible?
Yes, but in such a case, you wouldn't like close the lead, because
Yeah, okay.
closing the lead or the opportunity means that we're not doing this anymore, you know.
Mm. Mhm.
But if you see that like there's still possibilities, then you're going to leave that open, and then you
Okay.
keep tracking the activities here to say, okay, there's a new activity. We want to meet with the person, we want to make a phone call, we want to send an email, and you
Oh,
keep updating the activities here
okay.
for
So
that particular opportunity. Yes.
So basically, activities could be drawn down to emails, phone calls, text, fax, and everything is still boiling down to activity. Just to follow up on that potential lead to just gain the opportunity back, right? Okay, that
Yes,
makes.
yes. And then you can put some comments, some notes here directly. You had the
Mm-hmm.
call, what happened on the call. You can put everything and add it here. One of the good
Guys,
benefits of Dynamics is you have that interface, that single place, single source of truth, as we like to call
mm-hmm.
it, where everything is. And if phone is on vacation and leaky comes, you can come in here and see what has been going on with that
Yeah.
account and just take it up from there.
And if you agree with me, documentation is very necessary, guys. Whenever you are working on any project, any deployment, your documentation has to be key. I've learned this over time, and it has always saved me it also helps, when your partner is actually on vacation, or when you're going on vacation and somebody has to like take over your workload, right? Your documentation actually assists in getting issues resolved as soon as possible. So guys, documentation is always very necessary when dealing with projects like this.
Okay, and then you have your competitors tab where you can put in all information about your competition and some notes about them, what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are. So this is important to help the sales team understand what they are up against. All right, so we will call it a wrap here. Thank you so much for listening. And I don't know if there are any final questions around what we have learned today or any comments. I think in the next edition, which is tomorrow, the trainer will be taking us forward in other aspects of dynamics, because you can see there are a lot of other things that are there that we have not had time to touch on today.
Yeah, so thank you very much for me. It was a very insightful discussion I had with you. I mean, I also actually gained a whole lot of experience with what you just actually displayed for us here, and I'm very sure everyone on this particular session actually gained one or two things, right? So, like Funya has actually dropped social contacts, and she specified I'm only active on Twitter and LinkedIn alone. Right. So no Facebook, no emails, no phone calls. Just send a DM on LinkedIn, and yeah, you actually said that. Now you're laughing like, yeah, I didn't make it up for you.
I
So right.
did.
So,
I did. I
so
don't do. I don't mean I don't send, like, you can't send me an email. You will
okay.
probably not find me on TikTok or on Instagram.
No way, no way. Really, you're not on Instagram, like socially,
I
not
am, but
professionally.
I don't go there at all. I just have an account.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, keeping up with the trend. So, just once again, you can just pop up on the screen, right? Your contact, the details, so everyone on this session can actually just have a glance again one more time. Yeah, someone has a question actually, which is very good, which is very very nice. I can see a question in the chat box, and I'm trying to read out the question, but this person is still typing. So you can actually just display your contact details again, excluding phone number, right? And I'm sure before the question comes in, we could actually put it up here. So someone asked a very interesting question, which I'm actually interested in. So when are you coming again for this session? Three times MVP. Nailed it.
I'll be here in the next edition.
Okay, well, that's a fair answer because we don't have an ETA for the next edition. But I know when we actually reach
Yeah.
out to you, right, you definitely join us on this session. So, have you actually popped up your contact details? So
Yeah, I
let's
put
see.
it in the private chat.
Okay, it's private for me. Thank you very much. I'm grateful for this. So, guys, it's a wrap up today, and it's actually a wonderful journey with Foyin right here. If you're not or you didn't actually join this session, there is something I have to put up for you so you can see that we are serious here. Jokes on you if you didn't join this session because we actually went to a whole lot right here. So, we're going to go off and sign up now. And make sure you actually join us tomorrow. We have another guest speaker coming up. A very,
Yeah.
very educative session tomorrow. And we believe you're actually going to learn a whole lot. So see you guys tomorrow and have jokes for you to actually entertain you for this session. And here it actually goes. So thank you again, guys. We'll see you guys
That
tomorrow.
was a good one.
Yeah, thank you very much for you.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
just want to
take
say
care of
big thank
yourself.
you
Bye.
to everyone.
Oh yeah, please, please
Yeah,
do.
Toby, Ebele, Rachel, Pius, Gift, Jane,
Yeah.
Yemi, Ahmed, Elijah, Ebele, Shawanat, and my sister MJ. Thank you so much for, and everyone
Great,
else who
guys.
joined.
Yeah, so we'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.